It's just basically going to be a little template. Hi Caroline, I'm Hannah, nice to meet you. Welcome to your glove fitting session today. We're going to be getting you measured up and draped out, and we'll look at some sort of fabric and color samples. Have you ever had custom gloves made before? No. Well, it's a really unique and special experience. So we'll be going through lots of different processes to get a very accurate and comfortable fit for you today. Okay? So I will have you just lay your hands out on the table for me, and I have you remove your watch. Perfect. And I'll just put that on the side for you. So I'm taking a look at the hands, and I always just like to examine them before we do any major measuring. Really, it's a little bit on the Fritz stick, that's okay. So they look pretty symmetrical, and I don't see any obvious signs of differing features or anything unusual, but we can always accommodate. Also looking to see if there's any swelling in the hands, the knuckles. This would lead us to wanting to leave a little more fabric for days where you're having flare-ups. Do you have any issues with pain or arthritic in your hands?
Yeah.
Great. Looks nice. Smooth and normal. And the nails are relatively all the same length, and they're relatively short. Do you keep them this length, or should we accommodate for more nail?
I keep them this short.
Okay, perfect. So we can pretty much stay true to the measurements. If you see here, there's really not too much. We do have, some people like to wear their nails quite long, or we like to make sure that there's accommodation there. I'm going to have you set that hand aside and just relax. And we'll start with this hand. And I'm first just going to run my little light here along, feeling for any unusual ebbs or flows. I'm not feeling anything, but this just allows me to get a sense of the hands. And are you able to turn the palm over comfortably? Thank you. It doesn't have to be perfectly flat. You can just relax. And again, looking for any unusual protrusions of the hands. Looks great. Okay, so I would say normal, typical hand. So now I'm going to do a bunch of measurements. And the first thing is to make a unique marker spot, so a point where I'm going to measure all points from. And to do that, I'm going to first wrist measurement right on the bone. 16 centimeters. And then, if you don't mind, I'm going to make just a little tiny mark here. Just like that. And that's where I'm going to be measuring everything else from. So this is where I'm going to work kind of quietly, and you get to just kind of sit and relax. Okay, cool. And don't need anything from you. But it is going to take me just a little bit of time. I may manipulate you at times, but again, just relax. We want the hand as relaxed as possible so we can get the best, most accurate fit. that. You're good. You're good. Okay. So I did 3 markers in the palm, P1, 2, and 3, and 2 markers in the knuckles, K1 and K2. And now we're going to move down to finger length. Okay. So 16. 4. P. 20. You have very symmetrical hands. That's very satisfying. 16, 18, 20. So not everybody has that arc in such a symmetrical way. 20. Ooh, it's going to go backwards. That's very exciting. 18. That is very exciting for a glove maker. That is a gorgeous hand shape. Literally, like, that's so nice. Okay. Now we're going to go from each knuckle to the same spot. We're going to get 2 measurements around each finger, so 7, 5, and then up at the top, 8. Actually, I can up here as well. Six and a half, 6, 5. Okay. I'm gonna have you turn your hand over again, and we're gonna get a couple of stretching measurements. So I want you to open your hand as wide as it can go. Very good. Centimeters 22. Relax the hand. And then close them all the way. There we go. 13. So this helps us. This helps us basically not have too much fabric for bunching, but have enough for stretching. And these are driving gloves, if I'm correct, right? That was your goal. Okay. And then I'm just gonna get a palm length. So we will check the other side, but we're going to do a couple other tasks. So these kind of cool like that, right? So put both hands out, and this just helps us ease up the process of measuring and just making sure things are relatively the same. So if we're the same side to side, then we should be pretty good to just duplicate the measurements. I'd say that's pretty close. There. And that is a little different there, so we will go ahead and mark that. So we have second finger and third finger on the left hand. And this is the space in between. Versus just a little bit more range of motion on one side. Are you right-handed? Yes. Okay, so that's very common to have a little bit more range of motion on your dominant hand. About half a centimeter. Moving on. It shouldn't affect the gloves too much. Everything else is okay. Just going to check the wrist length. Does that feel pretty comfortable there, side to side? Okay. Get up here. A little different, so I'm going to measure that. Usually with driving gloves, we stop them about there. We can put a little bit of puff for design at the end, but we don't usually go up as high, but it's good to just have it on file in case you want to do evening wear once. Okay, yeah, so 25. It says 24. It's pretty close. There's a method to my madness, I promise. You don't have to understand it, only I have to understand it. Okay. So that's fine for that. I'm just going to feel side to side for any big differences. I do want to get the finger lengths, because as I come down here, there's a little bit of difference of when I get to the end. So do the same thing. I'm going to draw that little mark, and you can relax this hand right on that bone. That one's a little unruly today. Ooh, okay, so not nearly as perfect as before. So this finger is the same side to side. This one is just it's pretty close actually. I'm going to correct that back to 18. But this one is a little bit longer, 20.5 inches. centimeters, sorry. .22, so that's bang on. 18. Okay, that doesn't seem right now. That's a little longer as well, 20.5. And that's very normal. We're not symmetrical. I have different size fingers as well. It's so similar that it really won't affect that much what we do, but because we make these absolutely custom, they're gonna fit like a glove as we sit here. Okay, all right, so I think that's fine for measurements. Let's do a bit of draping. So I'll start with this hand, if you don't mind. Put you here. We'll take tool here. So when we drape, we're not doing any major things. It's just basically going to be a little template. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, missed one. I'm also going to make some notes on the fabric. For the contour. Grabbing the ends of the fingers. Okay. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Here's the other half here. And I'm going to make a few marks while you're this way. I'll try not to draw on you. Try my best. And then I'm going to do... the hands are relatively symmetrical, so we'll kind of flip the hand and do the palm side, and this will be the top side. The marker's not making you a little lightheaded, let me know if it does, but I like to keep it permanent on here. Okay, same thing, get the edges. And you'll notice I'm not getting right up against the finger. That's not only just to not draw on you, but also because you need that little extra fabric to create the curved round. You'll also lose about 1 centimeter when you flip it inside out. So yeah, a lot of people will be like, that's not where my finger is. It's okay, I know. Okay, now we're gonna have you flip the palm over. Okay, and now drape it. So we'll find combines here, pretty good. Making note of this muscle right here, that's our strongest muscle. It's also where most of our flexibility for the thumb lives. And then I'm gonna get, you've got quite strongly defined palm muscles, which is great. Do you do lifting or things like that? No? Where the fingers are naturally curving. Okay. All right, so we've got these two. You can relax your hands now. The hard work is done. We'll set those aside along with your measurements. And now we're going to look at some color samples. So these, we work generally, my specialty is more muted patterns, but we can go with any sort of brightness or lightness you want, but I just wanted to check some against your skin tone. So, and do you have a color preference? No, it's totally, I love it. Symmetrical hands and open for whatever, you're the best client. So I think these are going to be a little too close to skin tone. And even the pink, but I quite like the olive is quite nice against the skin. What about this green? I think something more poppy. Ooh, a nice royal blue might be nice. So this is just one of my ribbons. I just had a thought that maybe the royal blue would look good on you, and I do think it looks very nice. So like if we were to just mock something up here. This is satin, so we wouldn't necessarily go with this fabric for the whole thing. Just as a color reference. We'll give you fingers as well for the gloves. Helpful for driving. Driving mittens aren't as popular. But I honestly think that's a really beautiful color on you. You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. Okay, so we can look somewhere in the satin blues. We also can do a little button, a couple buttons here just for design and style. So with that satin blue, let's just put it here. So we could go with something complementary, so in the blue fields, but it might be a little too samey. You also could go with something a little bit more neutral and classic. So that's going to be something like a tortoise shell type of situation. That's quite nice. Depending on what kind of fur we do with it. That's a good dark. What I'll do is I will just throw a few more on for my own knowledge here, and then I'll mock some up with my recommendations. Oh, that's a no for sure. A smaller version of that might be okay. A little pearl. That's quite nice. It's quite nice like that. Okay. I will mock up a bunch of options. I just want to try one more. No. Okay. I have a full button book and we can mock up options and we can order anything we need. But I do think it would be nice to have a little dark blue. I think I would do it in a suede for you for the driving glove just to provide that warmth. So we'll mock that up with some button options. You'll get it digitally and you can relax them. You'll get the options from there to kind of choose design. So first thing first was to get the measurements. We got those. And then the next step will be coming in for a fitting of it's going to look kind of like this, plain. And then we'll lay some fabric and options based on what you've chosen from the digital files, okay? Well, I'm so excited. The perfect hands. I'll remember you as a client. I'm so excited to move on to the next step, but thank you for coming in for step one. Thank you.